Hello and welcome back. Today we are doing chapter 18 of the Book of Wisdom. Let's go. But your saints were your greatest light, and they heard your voice, but did not see your form. And because they themselves did not also suffer the same things, they praised you greatly.
And those who were wounded before gave thanks, because they were no longer being wounded, and because they had petitioned for this gift, that there would be this difference.
Because of this, they had a burning column of fire as a guide on the unknown way, and you displayed a harmless son of a good hospitality.
The others indeed deserve to be deprived of the light and to endure a prison of darkness, who watched for an opportunity to imprison your sons, but whom the incorruptible light of the law was beginning to be given to future generations.
When they thought to kill the babes of the just, one son having been exposed and set free to their disgrace, you took away a multitude of their sons and destroyed them all together in a mighty water.
For that night was known beforehand by our fathers, so that knowing the truth of the oaths in which they had trusted, they might be more peaceful in their souls.
Yet your people receive not only the salvation of the just, but also the destruction of the unjust.
For just as you wounded our adversaries, so also did you greatly esteem calling us forth.
For the just children of goodness were secretly offering sacrifice, and in agreement they administered the law of justice, so that both good and bad would be able to receive justice, and so that you might now approve of their chanting to the Father.
On the other hand, a dissimilar voice was resounding from the enemies, and a lamenting wailing was heard for the children who were being cried over.
But the same punishment afflicted the servant with the master, and the common man endured the same as the king.
Therefore all were the same, with one name for death, and the dead were innumerable. For neither were the living sufficient to bury the dead, because with a single effort their most illustrious nation was exterminated.
For they would not believe anything because of the drugs. Then truly, at the beginning, when the extermination of the firstborn happened, they pledged the people to belong to God.
For when a quiet silence surrounded all things, and when the course of the night was passing the middle of its journey,
You, your almighty word, your almighty word from heaven leapt down from your royal throne as a fierce warrior in the midst of the land of extermination.
as a sharp sword carrying over unfeigned authority, and standing filled all things with death, and standing on the earth, reached all the way up to touch heaven.
Then incessant visions of nightmares disturbed them, and unexpected fears overcame them.
As a sharp sword carrying your unfeigned authority, and standing filled all things with death, and standing on the earth, reached all the way up to touch heaven.
Then incessant vision of nightmares disturbed them, and unexpected fears overcame them.
And another was thrown down elsewhere half alive, and so by means of that which was dying, the cause of death was revealed.
For the visions that disturbed them had forewarned of those things, lest they should perish and not know why they suffered these evils.
Yet at that time, the trial of death touched even the just, and there was a disturbance of the multitude in the wilderness. But your wrath did not continue for long.
For a blameless man prospering is to be entreated for your people, bringing forth the shield of your service through prayer and incense, making prayerful supplication. He withstands anger and so establishes an end to the necessary difficulty, revealing that he is your servant.
Yet he outlasted the disturbance, not by the virtue of the body, nor by force of arms, but with a word. He subdued those who were troubling him, commemorating the oaths and covenant of the parents.
For when were now fallen down dead by heaps one upon another, he stood between them and cut off their attack. And he divided those who controlled the path to the living.
For within the garment of shame which he held, the world is altogether, and the great deeds of the parents were engraved on 4 orders of stones, and your majesty was engraved on the crown of his head.
Yet he who was exterminating yielded even to those he frightened, for one trial of wrath was sufficient. This is the story of the children of Israel coming out of Egypt. Thank you for listening. We'll see you soon. Bye.